Hello everyone, it's Christina with Kilburn's Creations. While my dragon journal cover is drying, I'm going to work on some of these cameos. And I like to do a bone look with them, with the sculpted clay. But I do my own. They do have different recipes for your bone color in the different books and everything. But I like to use the translucent, pearl white, echra, and white. Where's my leftover? Right there. Okay. So what I do first, after I get all my clay conditioned and all, I take the translucent and a pearl, and then I take another translucent and the ecru, another translucent and the white. I roll each of those together. This side has the pearl on it. This side has the translucent on it. So they're all been together. And I do use the thickest setting on my pasta machine. So I'm going to stack up those three. I'm going to move this one out of the way. And have this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to squish it together with my fingers. And I'm going to roll it through my pasta machine. Okay, so this is what you're kind of going to get. And then I'm going to take my blade and cut it. Now when you look at it from this end, let's see if we can do this here. You can see the layers of it. I'm going to stack them on top of each other. Oh, I didn't cut that one very good in half, did I? We'll just go ahead. So we have in half again. And then we're going to roll it through the pasta machine again. Like that. We'll cut it in half again. Let's fill this up a little bit. Cut this way. Always put the folded edge down so you don't get so many air bubbles. And we're going to do this several times. But we want to keep on picking this up and stacking it on top. We don't want to fold it in half and do it, because otherwise you'll get the two colors together and you'll have a thicker slice or stripe. Oh, let's, okay. Let's put this one on like this one here. And you can see how the layers are going. It's spreading in. They're kind of mixing with each other. We want that. Look at that side. See, that's looking good. It's looking like it should be. And then after like, what, 6, 7 times, we are going to come up and we're going to cut this kind of in half. And we're going to stack it. Let's see, I'm just going to cut this little piece right here off. And just fix that right here. And then we're going to cut it in half again. And if you look at it, you can still see the layers in it. But it's almost blent together. So we're going to slice this in half, and we're going to keep on slicing it. Hello. And stacking it. I'm going to slice this one down into 3s, I think. Yeah. And then we're going to push it together. Now they do have tools out there for you to screw up your sides and all. I use these bathroom tile things. These are the borders for your like your bathroom shower wall. This is your top piece. And I just use the smooth sides on each one, and I use them to compact and smooth out. And we're going to do this several times. We want to make sure that they are stuck together to each other. Now, it's not perfect, but it is good to do what we're wanting to do with it. I don't think I even showed you what we were making out of them, did I? I've been working on some of these cameos. This one is the skeleton with the face. I don't like the scary stuff. So, this to me isn't scary. It's kind of cute. In Mexico, it's a holiday thing they do for the dead to make sure they find their ways back to the cemeteries and stuff. So this is what we're working on. I did make some up earlier. So there's that one there. And then I have this one, which it's a skeleton, woman skeleton, holding a bird. They also have one like this that has all the flesh and everything on it. But I figured with Halloween, that was kind of cool looking. And then this one, no, that's the same thing. And this one is just a lady. And I thought she was kind of cool. She's pretty. She's not scary, but they did call her Tattoo Lady or something when I ordered the mold to it. But she don't have no tattoos. I think I've got one of her already antiqued here. So, and then here's the Tattoo Lady. And you see all those little lines in her face and stuff. She's supposed to be tattooed all over her body like that. And I don't really think that was spooky. It's got an owl back here behind her. Oops. Come on, focus for me. I think it's too white. Let's try that. And now I'm shaking. There we go. And I did do one of her this way and got the antiquing done. And then I'm still experimenting how to finish the tops of my pieces. I was experimenting with the Sculpey translucent clay. And I put that on and let it settle a little bit, and went back and heated it with my gun. And then if you look right in here and here and here, I was burning it. And it was over here. And when I touched it with my nail while it's still hot, it moved. So I thought I would be able to just try to peel it off and put another coat of Sculpey liquid translucent clay on it. Well, I ended up pulling the owl completely off. This is supposed to be the owl that is behind her. Let me see it that way. Yeah. If I can do it without shaking. So, and then also I noticed when I was working with the translucent Sculpey, you want to make sure it's smooth. If there's any type of small air bubble, it's going to pop up like this here. And this here. I had some other spots too, I think. But yeah, make sure you get it down and there's no air bubbles underneath it, because you don't want it to have a mole or a pimple or anything like that sticking out. So anyways, this is what we're working on. And I kind of like the bone look, but I just wanted more color to it, so that's why I added the ecru to it. So we've come up with this piece here. And these are the molds that I use. They've already been cleaned and everything because I was playing with these earlier. And what I do to clean my molds with is I take some old Sculpey clay, mixed, something that I'm not going to use anymore, and I just get a big wad of it and I push it in. And it takes all the dirt and dust out of it. And then you can just pull that back like that and get it. And if you leave them out and stuff, the dust gets to them and the cat hair gets to them really bad. So you might have to do it a couple times, but it does clean it out for you. And also push it around the edges. But in order to do one of these, what we're going to do to start with is we're going to take a slice off, and we only want it a thin slice. You don't want it to be too thick, otherwise you're going to have a lot of extra, and you'll see why we don't want that extra later. This shows you the original translucent that I did. I didn't squish it down as much. The layers are too wide. How about this one? That's the same type. Okay, this one here you can't really tell. I think what I did was mixed it up too much. Squished those layers too much on this one. Yeah, I've got a mold for her too, but I wasn't trying to get her done before Halloween yet, so. I got a couple shows before Halloween, so I was trying to get these done. Something I've been wanting to do too. So we're just going to slice off a piece like so. And break off a little more. And I'm wanting the tattoo lady and the skull mainly. So then we're going to smush this into a ball. Roll it. And then I like to make like a little bit of a point on the end. And we're going to push that point right in the middle. And just push that in with our thumbs. Now see here, you can tell I got a little bit too much. So I'm going to go ahead and take my blade and cut some of that off. And then keep pushing more in. Now see, I've got like a empty spot here, probably from my nails. Try to smooth out any of those pockets because we don't want them. And I'm going to take our tiles and squeeze it in there nice and good. And then I like to work with these little tiles like this. They're the 1 inch. They come on a plastic grid. This one here, there was missing pieces on it at Home Depot, and they gave it to me at half off. So if you can find one damaged, that'd probably be it. What you want to do then? I'm going to set this one to the side. So make a little snake and fill this in more. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to smooth it here. Okay, and then we're going to set it. I'm going to take this block and I'm going to push it down, and what I want to do is try to get the section to where the clay to stick onto this. So afterwards I just kind of pinch it a little bit all the way around, and it'll come out on its own. Just take your time. And that one looks, I don't think her chin is supposed to look like that. I don't like her chin. Where's the other one at? This one. Yeah, she's missing part of her chin right there. Okay. So what we're going to do is go ahead and take this off again. I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit more to it. And we're going to push this. And you don't want to squeeze it so much where you're actually mixing it, because you want the different layers. Like this right here, you can see the different layers of it. This one here, I really like to show right in there. It's a little bit wider than what I wanted. But to me, that marble look, I think is really neat. I like the marble look, so. But it's your preference. Whatever you do or want. Play and have fun. And then we're going to roll this into a ball again. Get our point. Make sure there's nothing in there that got stuck. And then we'll push it back in again. And I just keep pushing it in the middle, and then I work my way out. Let's try it this way. Try to get it in there and push it so it's all nice and flat. We want it to stick to the tile. That's a good thing. I've had the problem where sometimes this has a dent in it and it's like a suction cup and it sticks to this one. And then we're going to do our little pinching again. There we go. No, this isn't the same one. Okay, I did the wrong lady, but she looks good. No, she's got a wrinkle on her face. No, I don't like that. And her eye's not quite right. you want to squish this in the ball. You don't want to massage it into the ball, because you want to be able to still see your different layers for that marble look. Okay. Let's try her again. Push it in. Keep pushing it around the edges. Put that down. Grab our tiles. Do a nice good flat. Oh, and it didn't stick. Let's see here. Put a little bit of liquid sculpty back there. There we go. And she doesn't look too bad. We want to gently press around the edges so it is a flat back. Nice and thin layer. And then I like to take, sometimes when I get a little bump in the edge because it went on the outside, so I'll just take my Sculpey 2 and just cut around it, my Sculpey blade. But then after that, I want to smooth these edges. And make them nice and neat, like that. I'm not a tattoo person, but some of these people that have them on them are really pretty. Okay, so that will go on our baking pan. So after we do several of those, we're gonna make them so that I can put them on. We're gonna make a backing for it so that I have a hole down the center so I can do my wire wrap on it. That don't look very straight. So what we do there is take a leftover clay from that piece, run it through the pasta machine on the largest setting. See, this is kind of smooth and shiny. We want to roughen that up a little bit. And I like to use the emery boards. And we want to use the rough side. We don't want to sand this thing to be smooth. We want to rough it up. And then wipe the dust off. Then we're going to take some of this liquid Sculpey and put it on the center here. And see, with it already being baked, you want to put something on there so it will attach, come together and become one. Some people say they just put the fired piece on top of the raw clay and it works. I'm sorry, but my pieces have always come apart or chipped. So this is the way I do it. A little bit more. to put the liquid sculpting on, maybe some clay softener on, so that it attaches. I don't need a whole lot, just enough to make it sticky. And then we are going to take a head pin. And of course we want it to be straight. And we are going to lay this down. Actually, let's get this to lay down. And then we're going to put our head pin right there. And we want to lay. And we want to make sure that that is down the center. So when I put this down, it's going to go right through here under that clay. So I do that and I push it down. Just like that. Now I can cut the clay. So now I take little pieces and I just cut it around. Okay, now you do want to watch this area here because you want to leave that pin in there. You're going to take it out after it's been baked, but you want it to be in there. So you don't want to cut it out or pull it out. And after that, we get this pretty much nice around the bottom edge. Let's push this down a little bit more right here. And then I have this tool. This I've seen at Joann's and Michael's. I'm sure Hobby Lobby has something similar to it. I got mine from Joann's with a 50% off coupon. And you're going to take that, and since this is your piece that's already been fired, you're going to come around these edges like this and smooth those edges together to help secure them. And just keep going around, trying to get rid of that line that's there. Oops, it's going to fall. Turn this around so I can see it. Cut off this little bit extra here. And smooth. Okay. Well, I'm happy with that. And then you will set it on your baking pan so you can bake it. So when it comes out of the oven, Where's the one I just had? Yep, here it is. Let's see, this one here I did, and you can see where the little head pin is. So we want to take something, and we got a pretty good idea that it's down here too. Where is my one to what? No, that's not the right one. Okay, we'll use the razor blade instead. And be very careful. Might have to do a little bit of sanding. Well, it's still in there. I should be getting to it. Oh, there it is. Ta-da! Let's take something and try to push that this way, which pulls this out a little bit. And you can just pull that out with your nails. And you have a hole down the center. Now you can also use the wiring, a thicker wire if you want. It's entirely up to you. But I also have a drill. It's actually a Dremel. So if I need to make the hole bigger, I can go in this way and then turn over and go in this way, and it'll attach in the middle and I'll have the hole. So after you get your pin out, you can go back to sanding the edges. You don't want anything poking out sharp. And then you have some choices to make. Okay, I'm not too worried about this actually being smooth. But I do want it to be a little bit better than this. Because if you go around here with those sharp edges, it will cut your finger. I learned that by doing that. Okay, after that you need to decide. Goob, is that you? Okay. Then you need to decide how you want to do it. There's several different ways, and I will be showing you different ways. You can do a beading around the outside of it and put some fringe down or something if you want. You can always paint these too if you want to try to paint the actual face. Now, this one here was like this one before. Okay, but I went and I took some brown paint, watered it down, and went over it, and it brought out all those little detail marks. I let it dry, and then I took a wet cloth and wiped it off. You can paint these. You can use, what do they call it? Nova drops. I actually used the scribbles. It's about the same thing, and it's cheaper. The fabric paints. But if you're wanting it to kind of look like the natural bone, you're going to want it like this. That's here where I tried to start doing a finish on it. I'm not happy with this type of finish, so I will be finding a different finish. But yeah, here you can see where the sculpture looked like it was going to come apart. You could peel it off. Now see, that part did. I didn't take nothing with it, but it sure did pull my owl off her back. So that's how the cameos are. There's different ways. On this particular one, I'm going to go ahead and make the hole bigger so I can do a wire wrap around it. There's two different types. This one here I think will be the flat, where you can see the design from the front. Where I made her a lot thicker. She doesn't have the head pin in there. The head pin's not in there, so I've got to sand this down, put the head pin in there, and put it on another sheet and bake it again so I can get it like this one with the hole. But yeah, I'm going to be doing several different styles. When I get them finished, I will show you them. But this is something I've been working on while I was waiting for the in between for the dragon cover book. Ooh, 6:30 or 36. Well, I'm going to have to let you go because my phone is going to turn it off in the middle of this if I don't. But thank you for watching. I will be having more in the future. And you all have a good day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my Facebook. I have stuff on there every once in a while. Right now I do have a list of my craft shows coming up here in Michigan. And some new stuff. And I also post these YouTube videos on my channel sometime, or on my Facebook too sometimes. So check it out. You need to get a hold of me. The information is on Facebook. And my email is also in the description box. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.